season finale. It's round 10 for Tier 1 Esports Prospects PRL. My name is Paddy Pat. I'm joined here today by Lemony Tang. And what a cracker we've got on our hands today, Lemony.
Yeah, man, this is going to be an interesting one. It's normally the first race of the season in real life, but this evening it's the last race of ours. And it's going to be an absolute cracker. I can't wait to see it. Excuse me. All the gloves are off. This is really one for the books here this evening. It's all about pride and any grudges to be settled here this evening as well. So it's going to be massive here, Paddy. Can't wait.
It is indeed. And while we are waiting here to get underway, let's just have a little look here at the standings as it is. Here we go. So at the minute, you have got the... Oh, wait there. I've got the wrong one. Where am I at? Where am I at? There we go. PlayStation says Tier 1 dashboard. Where are we at? Drivers. There we go. QC Robbie then leads the championship by LFR Scotty by 112. And it looks like by that, CPI Scotty has won the championship because Scotty is no longer with us. QC Alex, though, and Troye are fighting it out for second and third because Scotty's not going to get the points. So QC Alex and Troye could get bumped up one here today. Equazer there with 76. Liam on 66. Carney, a nice little turnaround for him at the second half of the season. Now finds himself into 53 points in the Mercedes. Bingram with 41. Jackson 35. Cameron 31. Wally in 30. Optic 28. Goofy 21. Big Bambino on 20. Spider-Man on 12. Catboy on 10. Basil on 7. Pheasant 7, Sam Brooks on 4, who has struggled this year. Had a good start to the season, I would say, but has struggled. Sunvex only on 1 point, and Raceboy and Splandy yet to score a point, and we're on the last race of the season. So here comes the constructors then. Out in front is the Williams boys with 174 points. Alpine on 143. AlphaTauri 123 at the minute. Red Bull are just slightly behind AlphaTauri. Can they snatch that last place with 104 points at the minute? So there's still a lot to play for out there today, isn't there, Lemony?
Yeah, there is quite a lot, actually. There's quite a good battle towards the back there between Haas and the Ferrari. Also, 28 points and 35 points, respectively. So, it is all to play for. It doesn't matter where you are in the championship. It's all down to it. Splandy and Ricey Boy also in the championship. No points. They need to get something here this evening. Vundix on 1 point there. Sam Brooks on 4. But, yeah. So, some guys, as I say, they're trying to have some redemption maybe this evening. And also then some guys with some grudges to settle also. So it's going to be an interesting one this evening. We're waiting for these guys to finish up here in the lobby. And we will be on the way with a short qualifying. It is, as we said earlier on, Paddy, the first race of the championship normally. But this evening, it's our last race.
And the thing is with Bahrain is a great overtaking track as well. Not very good on the tyres, so the tyre strategy will come into play today, so keep an eye on that. But it's a short qualifying, 18 minutes, 29 laps. A lot can go on at Bahrain. Good overtaking points. We've got 2 DRS zones, one after the other around Bahrain. So we're going to see some very, very clean overtakes today. And, you know, there's sections there that's very tricky. Turn 11, keep away from that curb. If you touch that, you could be spinning around and your rear diffuser is going to be facing the wrong way, isn't that for sure?
Tell you now, turn 11 and then the dreaded turn 12 there just into sector 3. The rear end always trying to come around on you there. But as you say there, the first race is held here at Bahrain. It's 2004, ladies and gentlemen. It's a 5.4 kilometer track, 3.3 miles. It's 15 corners of absolute mayhem. And let's not forget, Paddy, as you say there, it's a great race track for the overtaking. None's be known to be 2014 between Rosberg and Hamilton.
Yeah, and the thing is, the track limits as well, not normally a factor around here, but, you know, you still got to keep it clean and definitely off those curbs. Now, while we're still waiting to get underway, there is a Season 7 sign-up, and that we are on all platforms. Our footage goes on ESTV, and it's quite prestigious as well. So if you are looking to get into one of these amazing leagues, prestigious leagues, get your name out there that goes on ESTV, then get yourself signed up for Season 7 of the PRL eRacing League. Now, we've got the poster up in the chat. Not only do they do all platforms, PC, Xbox, PlayStation, it's for all pace of drivers. Whether you're one of the quickest or the slowest, we can accommodate you. No matter what platform you're on, we can accommodate you. We don't only just do Formula 1, we also are doing a GT7 and a Assetto Corsa. And watch out, because iRacing is coming to PRL very, very shortly as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of things in the pipeline there, a lot of interesting ideas, and also some great, fantastic stuff coming our way there. I don't know which ones we'll be able to make happen and which ones we won't for the time being, but I certainly am excited for the PC side of things with the F1, as well as that the GT7 side of it as well. Seems to be taking off out there. Limited spaces, ladies and gentlemen, in all of these tiers as well. So do get in contact if you do want a shot out there, because the Prospects eRacing League is quickly becoming a very famous league for good racing, championship quality racing as well, Paddy, and the cleanest of motorsport. We see it time and time again through all the tiers, all the platforms.
Yeah, we do produce some absolute excellent wheel-to-wheel battles at the highest of standards. We are the tier 1 of PRL right now tonight, and we've got our 18-minute qualifying underway under the lights here at Bahrain. The guys are now just picking their setups on, and we're going to be underway very, very shortly. Not normally a place where you'll see rain here today, but you never know. You never know what the F121 game does. There might be a random monsoon that hits us.
I don't know, Paddy, as you say, but it might be the Red Bull tears, perhaps, crying out of the Christian Horner and co in the racing booth there this evening. You know, who knows? But yeah, so 16 minutes 40 odd seconds left on the clock. Nobody's out of the pit lane yet. It is a short enough track around here. The guys have a lot of experience as well around this Bahrain international circuit. So I don't know, people are just trying to be cautious right now, keep it calm, keep it ham and cheesy.
Yeah, well, we're just sitting and waiting for the first car to leave the pit lane, and it looks like we have movement as we say that now. We have got our first car out there. It's the Alfa Romeo of SLC Albon. Now, what sort of season do you think Albon has had this year? Do you think he'll be happy with the season he's had? I mean, I'm not sure where he is on the standings, but yeah, what sort of do you think Albon's been achieving this year?
Here in front of me, where is Albon? I can't find him really up here right now. So, yeah. So I don't know, to be honest with you, there, Paddy kind of thrown me off there. But I've mentioned him a good few times, and I haven't mentioned him a good few times. I'm sure, like a lot of people out there, he will have some really good highlights of the season and some quite low lights as well. You know, like any kind of thing, motorsport can always get worse. That's the mad thing about it. But these guys have all done themselves proud this year. It's tier 1, as we said earlier on. It is the creme de la creme of the Prospects eRacing League. And anyone in this tier should be proud of their achievements this year, be what may, because it's a very competitive one. We've seen it. We say it time and time again, Paddy. Thousands, hundreds, if not thousands of seconds separating these guys. And I'm sure this qualifying session will be no different.
Yeah, and the thing is, as it comes towards the end of the season as well, we do get a few dropouts for the guys that are not battling. But, you know, here we go then. It's Albon who's going to be first across the line to set his lap time. Here he goes then. DRS, the first of 2 here at Bahrain. Down the straight he goes, braking around the 120-metre board. Hard on the brakes. Oh, just misses the apex there, but just recover well. Now, over the curve he goes, but he misses that as well. So a scrappy first couple of corners here for the Alfa Romeo. Second DRS now wide open, braking around about the 100-metre mark. And now we go wide to the left-hand side. Not as wide as Lewis Hamilton does, but he keeps it within track limits. Could have crossed that turn and right over the right-hander there and down into the hill as we go through the horseshoe bend. Now this is a very tricky section. We go slightly uphill off camber as we enter this hairpin of the 3rd DRS zone. Sorry, I got myself mistaken mistaken there. It is 3 DRS zones, and that is a very tricky corner to get right and get that power down. Not normally an overtaking point, but you could definitely get yourself behind the diffuser to set yourself down the pit straight. Now, this is the dreaded turn 11, turn 12, where you need to keep that as tight as you can around here, but make sure you're not touching that curve because you will be facing the wrong way. Now, it's late turning in there for Albo, and it doesn't look amazing this lap, but I think it's a good banker. And down he goes, and just like that, we're on to the end of his lap. What is it going to be now as he comes through the 90 degree of the last turn now? He's going to come flying down the pit straight. The DRS is going to be wide open. It's sector 3 times here now. It's a 127 for Albo. And here's the first one across the line. What do you think to that then, buddy?
Up there, Pat, as you say there, Albo making a few mistakes out there, didn't trouble a few of them apexes, but as you say, it's a banker lap out there. It's 1 minute 27.6. I'm sure you could gain a second on that one at the very least. But I'm having a look here at Clement as he comes through the second sector. He's just made it through the turn 6, 7, 5, 6, 7 complex down into 9 and 10 as we were talking about. Very easy to snatch a front left tire into here, and as well as that, run into the back of the car in front if you're trying to follow closely, especially in that DRS train. Down the back straight now into turn 11. It's very important to pick your line here, as you say. Sweep it into the left-hander, let it run wide there, and then straighten it up for this flat-out right-hander. Easy to lose the rear on some old tires, letting off the grip, and then a nice cut of the corner there, turn 13. As you say, onto the back straight now again, into the last corner now. He just needs to concentrate onto the braking zone now. Very nice. Smash it down the gears into the apex. Nicely done. And he's onto the front straight now. Didn't quite get the good exit, but he's in the third at the moment at a 127.0.
We had a lot of times coming in. Quasar topping the charts at the minute with a 126.1. Not a bad lap there from the McLaren lad. But what tyres have they gone on? QC Alex in the Red Bull is a 127.4 on the medium compound tyre. As we see DSTY. Oh God, that's a Diamond. Should we call him Diamond? Diastimian? I have no idea how we're gonna struggle with that one, aren't we, Lemony? In second place in the Alfa Romeo, a 126.6. So the times are coming thick and fast now. Let's see if we can ride on board with Mustafa Sahid in the Williams car as he comes around the last bend. What time is he looking at? DRS open. What is it going to be for the Williams? Only a 128.6 on the soft. Not a great lap there for the Williams guy.
Yeah, 100% there. So sorry, just having a look at the Discord.
Bingram then is on the medium compound tyre. He's going to be setting his first lap as he comes around the last bend. What is it going to be for Bingram? Quite a tasty driver, and he's a 127.6. Bingram has been quite a consistent driver. He got promoted from tier 2 a couple of races in, and he's fitting very well, hasn't he, Bingram?
Yeah, he's doing pretty well, all right, as you say there. Being up there, being not quite there some of the races as well, but Bingham has definitely shown his true colours here this year. He's been up there more often than not, really giving these guys, especially towards the podium side of things, some solid points positions. Giving them a hard time out there, which is exactly what you need. You don't want to be just lazing at the back there, you know, you want to be smashing it out in the mid-pack, really giving these guys a good hard battle, and that's exactly what he's done this year. Can't fault a lot of these guys, to be honest. Can't.
No, and I think everyone is chewing at the bit now for the 22 game to come out. And although they'll be fighting like hell for the last race here, but I'm sure everyone will be up at 7 a.m. in the morning to get the first look at that F1 22K. But for now, we've got that beautiful looking Aston Martin coming through turn 11, turn 12. And let's see what CSB Harris can do. He's on the soft compound tyre, and he's looking very, very close to invalidating them, but just about keeps it together. Down this straight he goes on to the last turn of this circuit. Loving the helmet there he's got going, and he's fighting the steering wheel there as he comes across the line. What is it going to be for the Aston Martin driver? It is 6th place with a 127.3. So at the minute, Quasar's the man out there to beat with a 126.1. We're going to see some 125s out there today, Lemony. So Total Carney, then we mentioned him having a very good second half of the season in the Mercedes, and let's see what he can do. He's invalidated his lap. Now I'm wondering whether or not he's going to go back in. Let's go on to his teammate who is on a hot lap going through Sector 2, and his URL, Ethan, shares the same first name as I do, if anyone was interested in that. Let's have a look at the Mercedes driver then. McLaren out in front of him at the minute. He's going to get a bit of a slipstream from him. That could benefit him as well. And Battle gets out the way, rightly so, through the treacherous turns of 11 and 12. So URL then, not all time set just yet. Oh, he gets a little bit saucy through that last bend. DRS open though, he keeps it together. It's going to be in the 126 and URL Ethan, a 126.6. Not a bad lap at all. Must be the first name look there, shared by my yours truly. Total Carney then, is he gone back into the pits? One of only two drivers not to set a lap time. Kevo out of qualifying, whether or not he had a quali ban or he's binned it. It remains to be seen, but Total Carney, the only guy out there now with no lap time. Troye, who has a chance here of clinching third in the championship. He's on the medium compound tyre in 7th at the minute, and he looks like he's aborted his lap. So what else? Execute in the Haas. Sector 1 on the softs. Currently in 9th place, and away he goes. Interestingly enough, Aquasis has put in a crazy lap. Half a second quicker than anyone out in the field at the minute. And I'm wondering, is there anyone out there that can give him a run for the money? Or is Aquasis that strong at Bahrain? Well, we're going to be 7 minutes to find out as we ride on board with the Haas car down on the third DRS zone of this really, really nice track, especially under the lights here today. And he's looking very good indeed. What is his Sector 2 times looking like coming in right now? And he's 3/10 upon his time. And he's putting in a hell of a lap here. Currently on a 127.6. Is it going to be good enough to get in the 126s or not is yet to be seen. But coming through the last bend, he's going to get a little bit of a slip here from the Alpine as he crosses the line here. 11 for the minute, and he goes up to 9th place. A 127.2 just outside the 126s. So, Sobbits in the Aston Martin on an out lap. We're going to ride on board with this man here. URL Basil coming in the McLaren in 2nd place. And so far, we've got a McLaren lockout. Can anyone challenge that? Can the Aston Martin of Sobbits come out here with a bang as he comes through to set his first lap time of the session? Only 6 minutes left then. What can he do? DRS flap wide open, and what a beautiful looking car that Aston Martin is. And it'd be sad to see these guys go in the F1 22 game, but at the same time, the liveries, they've really done a good job of the liveries, these F1 teams, and I can't wait to see all these cars looking beautiful at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. Can you guys let me know in chat, guys, who is looking forward to the F1 22 game tomorrow? I certainly am going to be setting my alarm at 6:30 a.m. getting myself ready, just can't wait, getting myself ready for the 7 o'clock stream. Anyway, Summits yet to set a lap time along the side. Total Carney. Oh, and he goes very wide. That could be an invalidation, and it is. And he's put himself under massive pressure with only 5 minutes to go in the session. Can he get himself back in and out and get a good lap in? He's put himself under pressure now. Total Carney's still in the pits. URL Ethan comes out of nowhere. Sorry, missed that one, ladies and gentlemen. A 126 dead. I said, are we going to see 125s? Well, he's the closest one so far. And URL Ethan has really put a marker down there in the Mercedes car. Fair play.
Okay there, Pat. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I had to jump off there for a quick minute, but I am back. And I'm following this qualifying session with great intrigue out there, Paddy. It seems to have really kicked off there. As you say, Ethan there, the 126. Oh, will we see the 125s? I am nearly sure of it with these guys. And then just as I say it, Alex and a 125-8, Pat. Unbelievable stuff. Fair play to the guys there.
Yeah, it definitely was a great lap from QC Alex. I said, are we going to see some 125s out there? And we now have our first 125s. 8 from the Red Bull driver of QC Alex. It's starting to heat up now then as we get to the end of this qualifying.
It sure is. Clement Pheasant seems to be one of the drivers just after starting a lap there as well. So coming out of turn 3 all the way up towards turn 4 now. DRS wide open, the second DRS zone in this track. A very hard corner, turn 4 as well. Easy to lock up and run wide through the exit. Watch the power understeer. Oh, it just about clips that curve nicely. But it overshot him there through 6 and 7 into 8 now, the hairpin. Not looking too bad here from Clement. A little bit loosey-goosey from him. But in fairness, sometimes loose is fast, as they say, Pat.
Yeah, it's. Sometimes I wonder, how do these guys do it? Like, you know, I try and find a 10th here and there, and when you watch the fast boys, the car always looks like it's about to spin, and it really takes a lot of confidence to keep that power down, because you're really on the edge of these cars of like being ultra fast and then just putting it straight in the wall. It's really on the edge, and it's really interesting to see these top boys going at it here tonight.
Paddy, you smashed it. You smashed the nail on the head there. It is one of the things. It's a very fine margin to have these cars just on the edge. If you're just underneath it, you're losing a few tenths to these guys. But you need to be right on it. Otherwise, you're not going to be challenging these guys up at the top for pole position. As Clements comes in, Lucifer Shad has retired as well. So everyone seems to be having their one last gasp here. For instance, Ethan's out on an outlap, and so is a Quasar here.
Definitely so. So we're looking at Total Carney is coming round to start his hot lap. We'll keep an eye on the top 3 there of Quasar and URL Ethan Kusega on an outlap as well. But let's ride on board with Total Carney. Now he's only got time for 1 or 2 hot laps here, but he's gone on the mediums. A very ballsy move there from the Mercedes driver. He will not be able to get in and on those softs. So wherever he finishes, he has the confidence and he feels he can get in the top 10 with those mediums.
Yeah, well, he needs to get in the top 10, otherwise there's no point in going out on them mediums, because the bottom 11 do get the choice for the start of the race. But yeah, them mediums seems to be quite a confident choice for Total Carney. He want to be aiming for mid-pack, 4th, 5th, 6th position to be able to take advantage of them on the start. But yeah, not too bad by Total Carney here. He seems to be nice and consistent through this lap so far. No major wiggles at the rear end, no mad unsettling
My body don't
situation.
wiggle, it falls. I like to see you jiggle, you know. I'm sorry, mate, you said that word and I had to come in with that. It had to be done.
No, 1,000,000%, man. That's it, like, you know what I mean?
It's the last race of the season. We've got to have a bit of fun, Lemony, right?
Yeah, too right. Exactly. That's it, like, you know. But yeah, no, Paddy through the second last corner. Carney, Pat. Through the second last corner into the last corner, looking very nice and tidy with this car. He should be able to get another lap in if he's got enough fuel as well. And then mediums do better on the second lap also, but he's in the 16th to the 128. Oh
yeah, this could have been a big mistake here from Total Carney, but don't write him off. We're gonna have to go straight on to Quasar. He crosses the line and he does not improve. URL Ethan then a 10th up on his time. Could this be the guy that snitches Paul from QC Alex? He's coming through sector 2 now, and he was a 10th up through sector 1. He's got to keep it together though. Quasar does across the line, improves, but not enough to get ahead of Ethan. Now it's Ethan's turn in the Mercedes. He was provisional pole. It got nicked off him by QC Alex, the only one on the 125s. But now it's Ethan's turn again. He comes through the second to last turn and he's down, and it looks very, very tidy indeed, Lemony. Can he put it on pole here at Bahrain? Through the last turn he goes, and it looks very neat and tidy, just touching that curb. Nice tidy exit. He's down the straight. The DRS is open. He crosses the line. It's a 125, Lemony. Take him out, son. Come and get me, he says. Oh, we just got to QC Alex, and he bings it, and that is him not getting pole. Loads of scenes going on here, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolute disaster for Alex there, and I think that might be one of the major upsets of the thing. Bingham's got a 5-place grid penalty with a contact of chappers. A few guys out there after having some accidents as well. So yeah, not too good unfortunately, but I think that might be maybe it there, Paddy, for the pole position shootout. For instance, Ethan does seem to have got it here this evening. But Basil in the McLaren here, getting a nice slipstream from his teammate as well into the last corner. What can Basil do? He's in the 8th position at the moment. Can he do any better? As some other guys are going to be finishing some laps up sooner rather than later. But Basil into 5th at the moment there, Pat. Fantastic stuff from himself. Great improvement.
Yeah, that's a great lap there from Basil. A little bit of a help from his teammate, Quasar, but them boys working together nicely indeed. The Haas driver of Spider-Man does split them two, as it looks like we are coming towards the end of this qualifying session. Let's have a look at the Alfa Romeo as he's invalidated on the last turn. How unfortunate. And ladies and gentlemen, it looks like that is our qualifying session over. URL Ethan takes the pole. Troye sneaks in at the last minute and takes second. CPI Troye, take a bow. We missed that one, Lemony.
Yeah, I'm telling you now, fair play to Troye. He really did get into second there with only a few hundreds to spare. But as always in this qualifying and Prospects eRacing League, it ain't over till it's over. And if you can time it to the last few seconds to cross that line, you can really do a good upset with this grid. And it's definitely shaped up to be an interesting Grand Prix here.
It definitely is. But let's take a look at that moment. QC Alex may have lost that pole position here. So we just see then URL Ethan get pole, and then straight after that we go on to QC Alex, and that could have been the moment that he managed to get it back, but that was him not getting pole position. Was that the moment that it all went wrong for QC Alex? And well, it was the moment it went wrong for QC Alex, and unfortunately for him, Troye snuck in there and got, yeah, just got the power down a little bit too much there, didn't he?
Yeah, but well, do you know what though? I'm sure everyone can always kind of say that about their qualifying lap time once they analyse it there. But not taking it away from Ethan there. Pole position, fantastic stuff with Troye there in second, Alex in third, with Quasar in fourth, Spidey in fifth, Basil in sixth, Shubitz in seventh, Bingham in eighth, Wally ninth, and Deisman in 10th is your top 10, ladies and gentlemen.
What a qualifying session that was then, and what a race we've got in our hands right now. Up next then is a 50% race around this Bahrain circuit under the lights. It's the season finale. We are your commentators, Paddy Pat 89 and Lemony Tang, and what a race. I'm so looking forward to this one. It's great to get a finale under your belt, isn't it?
I'm telling you now, the champagne's already popping for a few of these guys, I'm sure, out there this evening. But I'm telling you, it's the season finale. The lights are on here in Bahrain, and it's going to be an absolute cracker here, Pat. These guys don't really have anything to lose, and if any damage is done, sure, they can worry about it in the off-season.
Yeah, exactly that. Obviously, the last time a lot of these boys are going to be playing the F1 2021 game, so these boys will want to sign off with a good result, especially for the guys fighting for championships and guys that are fighting for them podium places in the constructors as well. So, as we get underway then of the formation lap, URL Ethan in the Mercedes leads the way for this formation lap to get these tyres and brakes up to temperature.
Yeah, so Ethan in the Mercedes there in pole position with Troye in the AlphaTauri there in second, joining him on the front row. Alex in third with Quasar joining him in the second row there in the McLaren in fourth. Spidey, what a fantastic qualifying position for himself in fifth. Basil in sixth with Shabitz in seventh. Wally in eighth. Deisman in ninth. And Chappers is your top 10, ladies and gentlemen, because of Bingram's 5-place grid penalty. Nonetheless, Albo in 11th, Clement Pheasant in 12th, with Bingham with his penalty in 13th, winds up in 13th. Harris in 14th, Lucifer Shad in 15th. Go on, you good thing.
Hey, is that a bit of favouritism there from Lemony?
I don't know. We'll see how it goes here this evening, but you know what I mean? Group 24 in 16th, Total Carney 17th, Kevo in 18th, and Crew Steamers in 19th.
Yeah, I'm not happy about Crew Steamers. I'm not happy about him. He's getting practice for tomorrow, isn't he? It's not fair. It's not fair.
Well, as long as his brake pedal doesn't go to the floor in turn one, I think he should be okay. But, you know, I tell you now, we'll see what lap will Crew bring out the safety car this evening, perhaps. I'm not quite sure. Maybe lap 12.
It's one of those tracks where, you know, the tyre degradation is very, very bit high on those soft compound tyres. It's probably, we haven't really mentioned the strategy, but you know, the medium to hards are probably the best strategy, wouldn't you say?
It's the same.
I mean, obviously depending on, like, you know, safety cars, but obviously the guys in the top 10 are going on the soft. It'd be interesting to see the likes of Total Carney, who is fifth in the championship, but he's starting 17th. He's on that medium compound tyre. Let's see what he can do on that different strat as they come now round the last bend, lining up here for the last time in the EA Sports Prospects PRL season 6. And what a season it's been, and it's going to be the last time they take last time they see those lights go off in the 2021 game. Here we go then, Lemony. I'm going to hand you over to the man himself. Take it away, buddy.
Thanks very much, Paddy. It's great to have you along, ladies and gentlemen, for the last race here for Prospects eRacing League. I want to give a quick shout out to the ladies and gentlemen behind the scenes who make it all possible. I really do appreciate all the time and effort every single one of you guys do, putting it in for all of us here to have a great evening's racing. So as the last cars come up at the back of the grid there, the green flag is waving, the lights are on at the top of the gantry here. Who's it going to be? Eaton in pole, Troye in second. The lights are out, ladies and gentlemen, and away they go. The Quasar seems to have got a good start there. He seems to be battling for second position, but Eaton, good stuff. Pole position into turn one, retains the lead. Quasar up the inside, fantastic stuff. But Troye fights back, great maneuver. And there's contact, a massive accident between Wally and Spidey. I can't believe it, Pat.
And Wally's out. It's absolute carnage at the back of the field as we've got a virtual safety car. And we see an Alfa Romeo going off. Well, I'll be buggered. What's going on here, Lemony?
Absolute disaster, I tell you now. I hope everyone's okay out there, but just a few cars getting tangled up with the wheels and just getting a bit out of sorts there, unfortunately. So cars trying to sort themselves out under the virtual safety car here. Lap 1 at 29. And it's already kicked off here there, Pat.
I know, great start then from Albo, Clemeny Pheasant and Bingram, all up 4 places and all of them in that top 10. Great getaway from the Mercedes driver as we're now back underway in this race. And Troye is right underneath, and it looks like we've got a 3-way here, pulling away from QC Alex at the minute.
Who doesn't like a 3-way? I've never heard of many people denying that one. But yeah, no, it's a great battle up in front here. Great battles towards the mid-pack as well. The field seems to have spread out a little bit because of contact through the first corners. But ultimately, Pat, everyone seems to be trying to settle into a rhythm at the moment.
They do indeed, and we're just going to get the intervals up now. We see a red Crew Steamers then in the Ferrari has had a bit of a wobble here, but we've got to ride outside the front as we see Total Carney making his way up the field, up to 13th place as these guys come flying past at around about 200 miles per hour. A little bit deep from the McLaren driver Basil, but seems to get it under control and still on the back of the Red Bull driver of QC.
Kearney's crashed out the last corner. Can't believe it. This is absolute carnage going out here. Spidey's DNF'd out there as well. I don't know what's going on here.
We've got a hell of a
People-
battle here then with Albo and the Aston Martin along side by side through a couple of turns there, and Albo just stays out ahead, but great wheel-to-wheel action from these two.
Big stuff towards the front of the grid there, but Pat, I tell you now, it really has kicked off. Spidey's retired, Toe Carney's retired, and Wally has retired. There are 3 cars who have had some major incidents here this evening. Crew has lost his front wing out there as well. Kevo's in the pit lane. I'm telling you now, it really hasn't been a good start for a lot of these guys out there, unfortunately.
And that's the way racing goes sometimes. Sometimes you're a hero, and sometimes you will practice all week, get out in qualifying, and you do 1 lap and you're out. And that is just the way racing goes. Unfortunate for those boys, but we've got one hell of a race. And look at the gaps between all these guys. There's nothing to separate them right now. All the way down to 9th, 10th place within a second of each other. It's really tight out there at the minute.
Yeah, sneaky reset there for Crew. He's spun out of the pit lane, so unfortunately for himself, they're having an absolute mare this evening. But we'll leave him to it at the moment. As fast as lap seems to be coming in there at the moment. DRS is enabled as well, ladies and gentlemen. A massive battle towards the front of the grid here. Oh, it's all kicking off here. Troye, Quasar, Alex, all in co. I'm telling you now, it's really going to heat up here in the next few laps. DRS train galore.
Oh, and the Quasar gets right on the rear diffuser of the AlphaTauri of Troye, really trying to push him and force him into mistake. As you see them come through this flowing section, a little bit of an S section, you see how much downforce these boys has. And at the minute, at this stage, the McLaren seems to be a little bit braver on the brakes, a little bit like a Ricciardo, the late of the late breakers out there.
Yeah, he's definitely feeling the grip in him softs right now there, Pat, but is he going to run out of it as well? He is in the dirty air, so he will be relying more on that front end. And you do get a lot of front end wash in these cars, a lot of understeer because of the dirty air that's coming off the car in front that's affecting your downforce on the front wing. So can these guys compensate for that, or have they incorporated them kind of settings into their car setup?
I know it's one of them. It's now it's going to be at the stage of who is going to make that first mistake. A little bit of tyre saving maybe at this stage of the guys on the softs, but Quasar looks ever so close here to Troye, with him being a little bit more confident on the brakes. As we see then our leader then goes defensive, places that Mercedes in the right place. Troye compromising to turn 1, could leave him under pressure here at the exit, but he seems to get a hell of a launch out of the turn 2 and 3.
He did definitely. I think Quasar may have topped the rear end of Troye through the apex of turn 1, but it really is shaping up. You can just see it. If that was only a tenth closer on the start of that straight, they'd be side by side into that braking zone. And Quasar is positioned really well to take advantage of this, but he is under increasing pressure from Alex behind. So Quasar not only has to worry about looking ahead of him trying to attack, he needs to worry about the car behind and defend. Troye finds himself in that position also.
Yeah, then so we're on lap 4 then of 29. We've already had absolute carnage at the back of the field on lap 1. We had a virtual already, but URL leads from the front. Great getaway. He seems to be controlling the pack out there, but is he using a lot of his ERS? Is Troye just happy to hang fire there? It's a little bit of a train at the minute, and I feel that you know, it could be a matter of time before we start seeing position change, especially with the DRS being quite strong down here in Bahrain.
Yeah, Ethan is a little bit lower on the ERS in his own right, and as you say, back into the DRS zone now with Troye. He decides not to use the ERS on top of the DRS, but he's closing into the braking zone. Ethan goes to defend the inside, but ultimately Troye decides better of it. But again, Quasar closing under the braking zone, and even more so Basil on the back of Alex.
I've got to say,
somebody's gonna pop out here, Pat.
Yeah, I've got to say, Ethan is placing that Mercedes car in the right place, and he's doing a great job of defending against Troye right now. You could just see him. He doesn't go too far to the inside. He's keeping the car behind him, always guessing. Is he going to go left? Is he going to right? And what he does is cleverly positions that Mercedes car where it's going to be tight on the outside, or is it going to be too late to switch to the inside? So he's making the car behind him really think, and it's a great way to look at it, guys. If you guys are wanting to learn how to defend out in front, look how URL Ethan is doing it now, because he's under pressure. He hasn't got the DRS, but he's placing that car. He's keeping himself cool, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is a championship show here in the Mercedes car of him defending, so shall I say.
Yeah, I think you're spot on there, Pat. He's thrown on a masterclass of how to position the car. He's not defending mid-air either. And also, as well as that, he is being able to keep the guys behind. He's not being aggressive. He's calm and collected in that cockpit. And you can see it in the car's movement as well. As they come into another DRS zone, back down the front straight, he positions himself to the inside again. Troye tries to go to the outside, but Ethan still maintains that inside and doesn't outbrake himself. He's fantastic with the pressure here this evening.
Yeah, and you can just see it there. We see it again a lap before. We see it this lap. What he's doing is he's placing the car just enough on the inside where it's a little bit shaky to go on the outside, just enough space, but also too much on the inside for him to do that quick switch to the inside. So at the minute, URL has got the measure of Troy, and it's really nice to see.
And you know, look at the amount of cars behind there. First to 10th position almost is covered by less than a second between them all. So it's absolutely fantastic to see these guys out there. It's really shaping up to be a really
and look at this then. Alex gets a little bit out of shape, and USL Basel is going to take full advantage of that. And now the McLaren is up to P4. It's a McLaren P3 for the minute. And like I said, just waiting for someone to make a mistake. And well played there from the McLaren driver. Great move.
Yeah, fantastic, and he stayed within that 1 second, that crucial 1 second of his teammate as well. So great stuff from the McLaren driver Basil, and ultimately Quasar and Basil have shown time and time again to work very well together. Fantastic teammates, and they will be doing well this evening. But Troye is right in the back of Ethan now here, Pat. Straight down the main straight here. DRS, ERS open. He's down the inside. Ethan has no answer, unfortunately. And as it is changed for your lead, Troye takes it on the start of lap 7.
Yeah, but is Alex going to come back at him then? Oh, he gets a little bit wobbly, and Troy then is going to cement that P1 at the minute. We've got guys coming in the pits, being Graham Chappers, getting off those soft compound tyres and taking their pit stop on lap 7 of 29 here at the Bahrain Grand Prix.
Interesting, lap 7. I'm having a look here at Quasar. He is starting to suffer with some major understeer. He is in the turbulent air of Ethan as well in second. But them front tires must be crying for some mercy here at the moment here, especially them rears. Well, a little bit of contact. I don't know if he got damage with that one, but he definitely tapped the back of Ethan into turn 9 and 10 there.
Yeah, it's getting tasty out there now, and the McLaren's boys, there's going to be no team orders out there today. But the thing is, though, Quasar's doing a great job at sticking with the Mercedes driver Troye. Now he's been released. Seems to have got a little bit more pace in the field right now.
Yeah, he's trying to gap them at the moment for sure. He's gained a second and a 10th over Ethan, so Ethan's going to be out of the DRS zone. He's going to be vulnerable as well down the main straight here to Quasar. Who's going to come into the pit lane? Nobody quite yet is ready to pull that pin. So when Quasar lines up Ethan here, Ethan defends the inside, but uneventful towards there. And Alex passes Basil, repasses Basil as well.
Yes, that's a great little move there from Quasar, and seems like URL Ethan is struggling on those tyres at the minute.
I think it's one of them situations where it's just being swallowed up with the DRS more than anything else. So they know the tyres are going to be starting to affect them a little bit more perhaps than the guys around them because of the experience. But at the same time, you know, he's in the mix of it now, and once you start getting past, it is hard to regain your composure and to get your stability back.
It is. So just looking riding on board of Clemeny Pheasant in the Red Bull, and he seems to be the last of the guys in the train here, and he's just sticking with him here. You want to watch out for Clemeny. He can be a little secret assassin, and at the minute he's in a great position, just letting it all unfold out in front. He's got plenty of room behind him. 15 seconds adrift is the Aston Martin of CSB Harris, and I think Clemeny is just in a nice little stage here of you know, a bit of a tyre saving and fuel saving stage right now.
You just took the words right out of my mouth there. I was just going to say the gap towards Harris there in 8th. So the softs have really, truly had about 16 seconds on the whole field here compared to the
There we go.
mediums.
Sorry to interrupt. URL Ethan then does come into the pit. So as I thought, he is struggling on those softs. But let's not go away from Equator and Troye out in front. Now he's right on the rear of Fuse of Troye. Can he get a good exit here and get that DRS wide open? Troye gets a little bit wobbly, but still manages to get away from the McLaren driver. And I think that's going to be all systems stay stations. Yeah. A little bit tongue-tied there, but the McLaren driver stays in P2 for now.
Quasar has some fantastic grip still on these tyres. If Troye wasn't there, I'd say he'd be about 5/10, if not a second further up the road. He's definitely finding himself getting held up here by the leader of the race. Where are these guys going to come out towards Ethan and Basil, though? That's going to be the main thing, because these guys, Ethan and Basil, have triggered the undercut. Can Troye and Quasar capitalise on the free air and the overcut? But I think Troye's ultimate pace might be hurting Quasar here.
Well, just to mention, Ural Ethan has come out behind the Aston Martin of Sobits, and that could be really affecting the chances of the undercut, as there's a little bit of a gap between him.
He's crashed a massive accident, Pat. A huge accident, I tell you now. Troye is around, and I think he's collected somebody as well. I'm not sure who, but that's Troye spun out of second, if not the lead at the time, and he's got damage.
Oh, such a shame. Sorry we missed that. We were right on board with URL Ethan, but we just got the arse end, shall we say, of Troye's bit mistake there, and he goes into the pits. Luckily for him, he needed a pit anyway, but he has lost a lot of time, as we see the Clement coming in. It's going on the hards as the Red Bull driver.
Yeah, Clement was the one who collected him. No front wing on him going in there as they're side by side with X-Corp and Harris down the main straight here. Good move from X-Corp into 4th position, but it's really kicking off here. You really don't know when it's going to happen. And Ethan is still behind Shabbat's here in 6th position. I don't know when Quasar is going to pit, but Ethan's definitely being held up tremendously. There's 3 cars in front of him, Bat.
Yeah, the strategy of that undercut has really not helped for Ethan there, and he's now stuck. And CBS gets a little bit wobbly there. Is he going to take advantage then as Sabitz gets through? But is he going to try the switch back then on the Aston Martin? And CSBS Harris does his teammate an absolute whopping favour then.
Shabit is on 1 lap out mediums, and as you say, Harris and his teammate have just given Ethan the old dirty, there you go, see you later. And Shabitz is now effectively the race leader, perhaps, here with the 1 lap mediums. I don't know what's happening here, Pat. I don't know.
Oh, it's getting so close here. Maybe they're getting tips from Alonso and Ocon in real life. Maybe that's the little team game that they're playing out there today. But it looks like URL Ethan gets a great launch out of the turn. Is he going to set himself up for the... yeah, he is. He's going to set himself up then for the pit straight. Very smart move there from the Mercedes drivers. Harris does get a little bit wobbly on the exit, and that compromises his exit, but he's still going to get that DRS. As you see, Sabitz as well making a move, so a little double overtake on the pit straight. And let's not forget Basil coming through as well. So we managed to get 3 overtakes in 1 there.
Believe what was happening there. I don't know what happened there. I tell you, Harris there might be playing some professional foul or something there. Maybe just the tyres were that bad, but I tell you now, Ethan side by side with X-Corp, but Ethan seemed to maybe have to lift off through a straight almost to anticipate the slowness.
Well, it seems like URL Ethan had enough of all that going on and was like, do you know what? It's time to make some moves. Now up to 5th place. All of a sudden get held up for a few laps, and he's like, do you know what? I'm away here. And made some great moves up through the field within a lap or 2.
So I'm not quite sure. Well, actually, no. Elbow makes sense with the 7.5. Because I was like, Ethan's only 11 seconds off the car in front, and then Quasar is still racing in the lead here. What's it going to be?
Well, Quasar's yet
seconds,
to... Yeah.
21 seconds, I suppose. That's not too far off it now, in fairness.
But the thing is, Oh, there you go. So it has been jumped then, just as we were going to have a little conversation about that. Quasar and QC Alex then go into the pits. Now then, where are they going to come out from here? Is UL Ethan going to jump in? He comes round the last bend. Quasar and QC Alex have been released here. As you can just see in the top right corner, Savitz and URL Ethan coming down the thing. They're just going to see him on the exit then. The Aston Martin gets through. Does Ethan get through as well? Yes, he does. Basil and his teammate are going to be fighting for his position on the exit, and Basil just gets ahead. So the undercut does work out here today.
Just about. They do have 2 extra laps on their tyres, and I think that traffic definitely did help Quasar there, because he's right on the back of them, and he'll have that fresh rubber now for the next 3 or 4 laps, where these guys in front will almost be running out of that now to try and come into their rhythm stage. So yeah, very good stuff by Quasar. I think he might be in a nice fair situation with this grip if he can capitalise on it.
Lucifer Sahid then into the pits. Your little favourite boy down in 14. He's in the pits. Come on! He's in the pits. And we're waiting to see what he comes out on. On the hards then, the Williams driver. And he's got Kevo for company. Oh, let's go right on board with X-Scoop then, fighting with the Aston Martin. At the minute, them two really close, but they're holding up QC Alex. It's been a horrible time for Alex there, as he just get through on X-Scoop. But look at the guys that are in front. The McLaren, he pitted at the same time as the McLaren, and look how far ahead they guys have got with the Red Bull car getting held up by these two.
It's going to be huge down here. Look at this. I tell you, Bingham here pulling on the slipstream very early down the main straight here. But Alex and Harris also doing the same. Dodge Central in some of them moves there. Not just by the camera angles, in fairness. I'm sure the guys are well in control. But yeah, great stuff on the guys down the main straight.
Yeah, well, let's see if we can get that triple overtake earlier in the race. Let's see if we've got that here. I think we managed to catch all 3 there. So we had URL Ethan on the Aston Martin coming up through the field. And then we had Sobitz going through on X-Scoop. And then last but not least, we had URL Basil all on the same straight. What a great viewership there of the guys going through. And I tell you what how strong that DRS zone is around this Bahrain circuit.
Yeah, this Bahrain circus definitely throwing some curveballs towards these guys here this evening. As we said there, the start of this race, Paddy, it seemed to be quite a bit of a topsy-turvy first few corners, but ever since then we've pretty much settled into a rhythm. Couple of dodgy moments out there, some front wings going awry, but since then it's still Albo out in the lead here at the moment on them softs. It's an interesting strategy. He's gone 12 laps on them, Pat. 13 to start here at the moment. Unbelievable stuff.
Well, you know Troy, eh? You know he binned it. He's currently in 11th place with Clemeny Pheasant right on his heels now then. Clemeny on the hard compound tyre, Troy on the mediums. He's going to get the DRS down the pit straight, but he looks a little bit too far away to make a move under braking, I would say. X-Scoop then into the pits.
X-Scoop into the pits there in the Haas. Where is he's going to come out? Is he going to be within Deisman or Kevo side of things? Who knows? But there's a good battle still raging here. I think the lead is changing here there. Schmitz has gone through on Albo, and Ethan's followed him through as well. Fantastic stuff. What an opportunistic maneuver there from Ethan. Snuck it up the inside there. It was a turn 8 on the hairpin. And it looks as if Albo, unfortunately, on them softs is getting swallowed up by the whole field. The Quasar will try and follow through too. Into the corner, yes he does, into the left-hander. He just about made a stick as well.
Lights on the brakes.
Just about made it there.
Take a bow, son. That had some trust in that one. I want to see that one again. That was a brilliant move from
Choppers and Harris.
Albo's gone. He's touched the curb. Oh, and the Red Bull nearly comes flying into him. That's unbelievable, Jeff. Albo really taking those softs a little bit too far, and he's really struggling out there, and he's paid the ultimate price.
Dick buzz for Albo there. I was actually looking at Choppers and Harris. They were mid-contact when I jumped on board at them there, Pat. So Choppers made the move stick. into turn 11. But yeah, I tell you, some guys getting the elbows out now. I'm telling you now, lap 15 at 29.
There is action
just over halfway.
There's action all over the field. Sorry, we've got the lead change here. The Aston Martin going late on the brakes, side by side. This is absolutely unbelievable stuff for the race lead here. At the minute, the Mercedes has got the upper hand on the Aston, but the Aston is not letting go as they both touch and come together. But wow, that is some great racing, great defending from the Mercedes guy. This all going on here, Lemony. We can't keep up.
No, we really can't, I'm telling you now. Great stuff there from Ethan to regain the lead. Schmitz is going to try everything that he possibly can to get this DRS here, but I think it might be in vain for the moment. But that is Ethan reclaiming the lead of the race there. Schmitz in second with Basil right behind in third with a Quasar with a fantastic look in fourth position. We seen it earlier on, Pat. It was a train of 8 cars. They've managed to whittle themselves down to 4-car train for the lead here. Schmitz getting loose through the second last corner as well.
Yeah, I've got to say, though, the McLaren boys are doing a great job up there, sitting comfortably in third and fourth now. Drop QC Alex, like I said, 4.4 seconds now of a gap. So it does seem to be a little four-way battle, but you got to say, the McLaren boys, if they can manage to split one of these guys, they could really use the strategy on this.
Here we go, the DRS is coming right down into it. I tell you now, Basil and the Quasar are working fantastically well as ever. What Schmitz was thinking about Ethan, but they're going to get under increasing pressure here from a Quasar. Goes to the outside to try and sweep it around the outside. Can he make a stick?
Oh!
Not quite. They nearly entangled wheels, but they got away with it, and it's status quo for the moment. Through the S's, Paddy. That was so close through them S's.
Yeah,
there.
and I'm just wondering whether or not Quasar might have got damaged. There was a little bit of a harsh contact there on his right end plate. Let's take a little look of the replay of that. So coming down the straight then, a Quasar goes right to the outside, round the outside, and we go to the different camera view, and he just gets squeezed off the track then. His rear wheel just connects with his right end plate, right front end plate, and that could have been quite easily been a puncher.
Yeah, with this game dynamics as well, they do include punctures in this game also, but Quasar is right onto the back of Schmitz now. As we see here, he's really starting to hassle second place. You can see Ethan starting to pull away in front, and this is the last opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, for these guys to get a race win in F1 2021 for the Prospects eRacing League. This is the last race of the season. They have to leave it out on the table here, Pat. There's no turning back now.
The Quasar then comfortably gets past the Aston Martin now. So now it's time for Basil, see if he can get past as well, bringing his teammate through. Is he going to get a double DRS? He's got no ARS left. Is he going to send one on the inside? A little bit of a dodgy defending there from the Aston Martin. A little bit swayy for my liking for Tier 1.
You know, yeah, I see what you're talking about there. It didn't like light my bell really, but in fairness, was I really paying attention? Not quite so much as I normally would be, in fairness. I didn't quite think Basil had enough going into that corner. Schmitz pretty much had it covered through there. But yeah, if it was a little bit closer down the main straight though, perhaps I would have been saying something different.
Yeah, just keeping an eye on QC Alex. The gap was 4.4 seconds. Now currently 3 seconds. So all this battling going on. QC Alex is just quietly catching up to these boys in his own little race again. So if this battle keeps going on, we could see the Red Bull joining the back of this fight.
Definitely so, but look at a Quasar here, 4 tenths between himself and the race leader now. Lap 17 out of 29. I was wondering, could he keep that gap, could he close that gap, and he sure enough has straight away. So it's going to be interesting stuff to see how they get on down into the braking zone. Quasar might be a little bit too far behind, but he's definitely closing. And Ethan left the door open in fairness, but Quasar decided not to go for it. But this could be a very interesting battle here, Pat, for the race lead here. It's Ethan against the Quasar for the race lead.
It is indeed, and yeah, like I say, you are Ethan doing a great job again at putting that car in the right place at the right time, and it's all for a Quasar now to make him make him think, suss him out. Where can he catch him out to make a move? See Troye going up through the pack then, passing the Alpine of Chappers up into 7th place.
Good stuff. Boy Troye into 7th, but not the greatest of days for himself. He had a bit of an instant earlier on that dropped him way down the grid, out of the race pack, and he's found himself down in 7th, trying to have the comeback.
I've got to interrupt you here because it's going to be your favourite driver, Lucifer Sahid, then is going for it. No, he backs out, strangely enough. He backs out on that. Now, I wonder if he's going to try and get the overtake here, which is very strange from Lucifer. But he's got the DRS open. Is he going to go for it now? He does. He goes to the inside and he gets his teammate. No, he doesn't. His teammate goes round the outside. Now, I don't know what these guys are doing, but they're having a bit of fun out in 13th and 14th. Oh! Oh! It's commentator's curse! It's commentator's curse! What have I said? What have I said? Oh, bloody Nora, what has happened?
Quasar's pass for the race lead. Ethan tries to come back at him. But yeah, no, Basil out the inside. Oh, Shabitz, no, not quite. But I tell you now, come on, Lucifer, giving us some great battles out there. I was watching it through the timing screen myself over the last lap or two. And unfortunately, they just came together through the essence. It's quite hard to go side by side through there. Oh, good stuff from the two of them, nonetheless. Eat, boys, eat.
Do you want to see a replay of your favourite man?
Yeah, go
Let's
on,
see a replay of your favourite man, shall we?
Yeah, let's have a look.
So I wasn't too sure what's going on here. So the Kevin goes round the outside, and obviously they're side by side through this S section, and just like that, cuts right across him, and that is teammates coming together. No team orders, and I'm pretty sure the manager's going to be pretty annoyed at that one. There's going to be words after the race, that's for sure.
Bit of banter between teammates out there, crack a few brewskis together, they'll be fine. But yeah, as I say, they just seem, do you know what? That could have been one of them situations where people are trying to give each other too much space and they managed to crash into each other regardless. We've all been there, let's be honest. I'll put my hand up to it too. It's like, come on. And then you both crash. Kind of like Stroll and Latifi in Canada, but we're all way better than Stroll and Latifi in there. So yeah, good stuff with that one. Fair play to the guys.
If Williams Formula One team are watching, sign Lemony up. Sign him up.
Oh, versus DNF out there.
Oh, Harris then. That's a safety car. So Harris gets it wrong and he is out of this race for 4th retirement. And the Aston Martin driver gets it all wrong, brings out that safety car. Now then, what are we going to see with the Strat coming in as we got our first guy? It looks like he's in the Williams. And that is Chappers, in the Alpine, coming in for a pit stop. Now then, what is going to happen here?
Smash a brand spanking set of softs if you have them from qualifying and go to the end of the race. We've seen Albo going 12 laps in them earlier on. Maybe a set of mediums to be safer than sorry, but this is really throwing it all up there. It gives the likes of Crew, Deisman, Lucifer, Kevo, Xcope and Chappers all time to get back in to the race with Albo as well. And unfortunately for Quasar, Ethan, Schmitz and Basil, it'll bring the pack towards them. So here we go. It's going to be what, about a 7-lap shootout?
It's going to be a 7-lap shootout towards the end. This is what we wanted, though. This is what creates great racing. A 7-lap shootout, all on soft. The best man wins, and that's what we're looking forward to. Like I said, though, the penalty's not really a big issue here, but we will mention the guys that do have them because they should be ashamed of themselves getting penalties around here. Bin Grant with 3 seconds and Dishim with 8. Lucifer Side with 9 seconds. And maybe I shouldn't have been so harsh on the boys.
Shame on you, sirs.
Okay, so Aguesa then comes back out in the lead, and I'm guessing it's going to be everyone on the softs out there. Let's just make sure and double check. Yeah, everyone's going to be pitting for the softs, and it's as the safety car then picks up our race leader. Quasar then at the minute is your race leader, but URL Ethan Alpolster are still up there and still looking for a fight.
And you know, can he get the old jump on a Quasar? All it takes is a good move down the inside, and then the likes of Shabitz and Alex to try and make their way through, and then a Quasar will find himself in all sorts of trouble. So there literally can be anyone here. Bingram's brought back into it, although he does have penalties, shame on him. Troye in 7 has no penalties, so that's alright. You know, and yeah, that's what you get. You know,
The
so
thing
it's
is,
gonna be
Big Ram though
race.
Big Ram has done well. He's up 7 places from his starting position. The safety car coming out with only 7 laps. He's really got to get a move on with those 3 seconds, trying to get ahead. But Troye, his teammate, is no louch, and he'll be looking to recover from his early spin and possibly try and snatch a podium out there today. So still a lot of racing to go on here, and there's still a lot of guys out there wanting to prove a point for next season.
Yeah, that's true. With that one, they need to make themselves known for next season as well. What I do want to point out, though, Lemon's on his perch here this evening. It is the last race. Bingham with 7 position gained. If he didn't get that 5-place grid penalty in qualifying, I would have been impressed by that. But effectively, he's only gained 2 positions. So Bingham needs to do better than that one. Like if I was France Toss, that's exactly what I would say to him. And look, how many penalties does he have? How much is that going to cost him as well here, Pat? Where's he going to show? Where's he going to finish with that one? Let's see here. Penalties. 3 seconds. So yeah, tell you now. Interesting stuff altogether. But yeah, these guys doing really well nonetheless out there. All joking aside, it's been a fantastic season for these guys. It's coming down to a few lap shootout, which is all what we always want to see, Pat, as you said earlier on. And these guys have been providing some fantastic entertainment as always here. Some great side-by-side action. Sometimes a little bit too more side-by-side than needed, and a few boys going around. But ultimately, some great passes, great opportunities, and some clean racing out there with these.
Yeah, I mean, don't take anything away from these boys. These boys race with each other week in, week out in the Tier 1 esports prospects. And we have seen throughout the season some fantastic overtakes. But let's not forget, there's not a driver out there that has not made their own little mistakes in a long season. It is a long season, and we're not perfect, and it is racing. But you know, you've got to say a big round of applause to these boys for really putting on us a show all season long. Great driving, great overtakes. We really have got some amazing highlights to show.
Yeah, that's definitely it there, Pat. Just spring back on what you were saying there. These guys have all made their own mistakes this year at one point or another. I forgot to break into turn 1 after a race start before, so that was one of my mistakes.
Well, did you not see what happened last week in my race?
No.
In qualifying,
X-Corp has crashed.
in qualifying, oh, go on. What's happened? Oh no.
Sorry, X-Corp has crashed. Is he, or is he retired?
I don't know. He's in 14th, and
Sorry to cut in front of you there, Pat.
I think he has. Let's go on to crew a minute. And he's coming there. It looks like he's just pulled aside.
There's no front wing. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, what are you meant to do with that?
Oh, I don't know. Is he going to be in this lap then?
No.
No, it's going around one more time. But yeah, so last week at Portugal in the wet, it was a wet qualifying in Portugal, and I looked up at the chat, and it wasn't Portugal, it was Imola. And I totally forgot there was a chicane, and I thought we were coming over the brow of the hill to the last sector where we had the 2 90-degree turns. And I totally forgot before that there was the chicane, and I went straight on and took out the McLaren. Well, well, you can imagine what the chat was going like. They thought I'd done it on purpose, and I shouldn't be racing ever again. But we all make them. We all have those little boo-boo moments. We aren't perfect, and just like the Ferrari car of Cruise Steamers, he's forgotten to put his helmet back on in the pit stop. Shame on you, Ferrari drivers. Shame on you.
Another pit stop for crew. But yeah, no, as you say there, like, you know, we've all managed to have a brain fart every now and again. That's how I would describe
Yeah,
that.
we'll call it a brain fart. Yeah, I think
have
that's
a
fair.
Ferrari strategy moments, maybe, perhaps. You know, like his crew pitted for intermediates, perhaps.
Oh yeah, sorry. Someone just put in chat. Last year, the last season at Jeddah, I got raided by a streamer, and I looked up and was like, "Yeah, raid," and then I forgot the turn and went straight on. Caused a safety car with 3 laps to go, and I was in P2. Basically just pinned podium, and then everyone wanted me kicked from the league because I done it on purpose so that Leclerc could win. But yeah, it's crazy how people can come up with conspiracies by basically just a brain fart.
Yeah, I've been coming out of the pits in Australia down into turn 3, changing my fuel to low, and smashed into the guy in front of me because I didn't realise I was in a braking zone. So,
right, here we go then. We've had a bit of a chat, we've had a bit of a giggle, and now it's time to get back to racing. It's race control. The race control now, the safety car in this lap. Equator becomes the effective safety car, and we're going to hand over to Lemony to take this race underway again.
Good stuff, Pat. Yeah, so Equator is the de facto safety car. When's he going to pull the trigger here? He's keeping it nice and steady for the start of the race here into the last corner, and he decides to pull the trigger now. Quite a good restart there. I think Shabitz might have got a little bit squirrely, and Ethan and Equator has definitely pulled over a second towards the rest of the field, and the rest of them are side by side towards the back here, Pat.
Yeah, there's a great little restart from Equator, but URL Ethan was having none of it. Summit gets caught napping as we see Chappers then getting ahead of Laubaum and the Kim coming together, and just missed that one there, but there was a little bit of contact.
Don't know how he saved it. Don't know. Deisman seems to have the red X, so that's unfortunate for everyone else behind him. But yeah, no, that was some saucy stuff into turn 1 and 2. Between the mid-pack there, great saves between everyone as well, and it's still heating up towards the front here as well.
Yeah, so lap 24 then of 29. We're coming towards the end of this race as we see Kevo then making moves on the Dadimu, and it's whoa, this is getting very saucy back here, and some great racing jostling for positions with the 2 Williams cars sandwiching the Alfa Romeo, and the Ferrari wants to pick up the pieces as well.
Yeah, Desmond is at red X at the moment, so his car is really trying to look at this side by side contact and everything. I'm telling you, crew is having a fantastic view of this. What is the AI doing? Get out of the way!
Unbelievable stuff here. It's unbelievable stuff at the back as we see crew then take to the inside of the Alpha, and yeah, that was a good little battle.
I be throwing my steer wheel at the screen. I'm telling you, I'm screaming. I'm like, get this guy out of the way.
Whoa, Basil loves to be the late on the breakers, right on the rear end of QC Alex, and looking to make moves. But at the minute, there seems to be a bit of a train going on right now, as you see Basil take a little bit of a sniff to the inside of the Red Bull, just making sure that he knows he's there, and maybe force him into a mistake.
Big stuff between Basil, Alex and Shabitz for third position here. I think Equator and Ethan, they have the legs and everyone else. They seem to have a little bit more ERS as well. But who's going to get third position here? I'm not sure. Everyone is very close to each other. Troy a little bit loose there as well. Everyone's pushing so hard here, Pat.
Well, Clemeny then is going for it side by side with Bingram. What is it going to come out to? Whoa! The Red Bull of Clemeny goes late on the brakes and takes that position up to 7th. Great move there from the Red Bull driver.
When there's so much off the brakes like that, I tell you, it really does take the wind out of your sails almost. You don't know what's happening. Clement was steaming noise down in the brakes.
Bingram gets wide. Sorry, Bingram gets wide at the second to last turn, and Chappers takes that position. So he's lost 2 positions in 2 turns as Bingram. Not having a good time out there. As we see DRS enabled this lap.
DRS enabled. Ethan closing into the braking zone of Equator, decides not to launch it. Everyone's still status quo, but as you say, that DRS is open now, so through the right-hander to go onto the first backstraight here into turn 4. The side's better off it, but this lead battle is not over yet. so packed.
And it's a bit of a shame for Ben Graham because it looks like he may have retired. I'm not too sure, but he's gone into the pits.
Hard luck for Pingman. It was so promising at the start of qualifying, or sorry, by the end of qualifying before his penalty, but it just seemed to have gone bad to worse here this evening. But there is always going to be some winners and some losers here, Pat, this evening. But Quasar and Ethan are certainly winning right now. First and second separated by 0.3 of a second. What's Ethan going to do through the last corner? Is he going to make his move now, or does he wait till the second last to last lap? Well, I'm not quite sure how he wants to play this one here.
The thing is, he's on the same tyre strat as Quasar. They're both pitted at the same time. It's all about saving that ERS, and as you can see the difference between the two at the minute, the Mercedes driver is just using the DRS to save the ERS, as there's a bit of a 30% difference between the two. So he knows what he's doing, and I feel like it's going to be a matter of time before he really puts the pressure on.
He's wasting Quasar's resources for the final blast. Is he going to be doing an absolute masterclass here this evening? We'll wait and find out, but the battle still rages here between second and third and fourth as well. Troye in fifth, Basil in sixth. It really can be anyone's game here this evening there, Pat, especially if the two guys start to battle really hard and trip themselves up perhaps.
Well, Basil then is really low on the ERS, but you know, all it takes is an incident out in these boys. They're racing so close together. All it takes a little bit of an incident, and I have a funny feeling that McLaren could snoop in here and maybe get a podium. I don't know. I just feel the tension is rising out in front, and it could get a little bit saucy as we enter the last two laps. As you see, Lucia Sahid then picks up a 3-second penalty of this race. Not many penalties out there, only 3 of your drivers, Bin Graham, Distrium and Lucifer Sahid out there with penalties. But coming on now for the penultimate lap, Quasar then is your race leader at the minute, but is our pole sitter going to mount a charge here on to the back of the McLaren? Here he comes, and he's using the ERS. He's going to go for it. He goes to the inside. We do have a late guy on the brakes, and they're going to go side by side, and they almost touch. And he tries and keeps his stick there, does the McLaren driver. But URLA forgets the double DRS there. So time that to perfection.
Yeah, he didn't use the DRS though down that second straight, so I'm not sure what was going on there. But Quasar has relinquished the lead. Ethan has regained it here with 2 laps to go. As he says, the penultimate lap here. Not much time for these guys to make their move.
Oh, the Aston Martin goes a little bit wide then. The Red Bull comes side by side. They touch slightly there, and they just released it, the Aston Martin. But the Red Bull was ready to pounce, and he makes a little mistake himself. Can Basil take advantage of that? And Troye comes sweeping through on Basil. A lot of position changes going on right now.
Tell you now, that's what happens when somebody gets hung out to dry there. But I was going to say, Schwitz needs to protect that third position there. Alex is really sniffing around the back of him there. Tyres are starting to feel a little bit old, perhaps. Or they're just trying to push the limits of adhesion. But Troye getting a wide run there. It's anyone's game as they come on to the final lap here there, Paddy. Ethan is your race leader, but Quasar only 0.6 back. Can he do anything about it? They're both on the ERS stump right now. I don't quite know if Quasar has anything for him.
Quasar's got no ERS left. Saving that ERS, the Mercedes may have got a win here, but he's got another chance of getting it right now. 2 more DRS zones to go. Quasar on the back of the Mercedes driver, but has the Mercedes driver played the Ulmer strategy now and saved that ERS? And Quasar's got no answer right now. He goes late on the brakes, trying to force the McLaren into a trying to force the Mercedes into a mistake. We see Kevo get ahead of Crew Stevens, but we're going to keep riding on board here with your race leader at the minute, and he's on the last lap as we come through sector 2. He's managing the gap, but look at QC Alex on the back of the Aston Martin trying to make a move here on this last lap. And are we going to see here any move changes? We got the DRS zone. Has everyone got this right going through here? The DRS are going to be wide open for everyone by our race leader, URL Ethan. URL Ethan is leading this Grand Prix. It's a finale. It's round 10. Is the Mercedes going to come home with the win? Lemony, talk us through the last few turns.
Yeah, so they come through 12, 13, and 14 for these last few corners here. Quasar a little bit loosey-goosey there, 2/10 between them. All the ERS dumps, as you can imagine right now. But I think it might be Ethan if he doesn't make any mistakes through the last corner. How does he get on? He seems to get a fantastic drive. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Ethan, your race winner here this evening, with a Quasar in second. Showbits hangs on into third. Alex, a valiant fourth position. Troy A with a good race here into fifth. Basil into sixth. Clement Pheasant across the line in seventh. Choppers in eighth. And Albo is going to be ninth. Side by side with Lucifer. I don't know who quite got it there, Pat. They could have been so close to each other with Crew and Kevo following suit there. Diamond and Bingram going to be your last cars. But amazing stuff for Ethan, who wins the Grand Prix.
Fantastic race, ladies and gentlemen. Right to the line there. 5 cars crossing. In the end, there was no position change. The Aston Martin did a great job of keeping that last podium position. And URL Ethan really did time that overtake to perfection against the Quasar. But very, very well strategic play, well played out there for the Mercedes driver. What a race. Great race. We had all sorts there, didn't we?
Yeah, it was a great race there this evening. Bingham doing a few sneaky donuts there just before it comes across the line. Why not? Last race of the season, last car across the line. It's been an absolute pleasure, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure you guys will agree it's been one of the best seasons yet for Prospects eRacing League. Paddy, it's been an absolute pleasure
to
have
has.
you in the commentary booth. It really has been amazing. But fair play to these guys out there this evening, who really put on a top-class show yet again for the Prospects eRacing League. And Ethan is your race winner, ladies and gentlemen. No doubt about it. He deserves every bit of reward there.
He definitely does. So I'll see you in the podium interview room and see if we can get a couple of these boys to speak to. Head on,
Paddy.
Head on over there. We'll see if we can get these boys in the interview room for their podium interviews. So your racer winner then is URL Ethan Quasar in second, Summit third, Alex in fourth, Troy fifth, Basil sixth, Pheasant in seventh, Chappers eighth, Albo ninth, Bruce Steamers 10th, Kevo in 11th, Lucifer's Hyde in 12th, 13th is Dudson, 14th is Bingram, 15th Coop, Harris in 16th, Spider-Man 17th, Total Carney 18th, and Wally, who was DNF'd in the first lap of this race. And that concludes our race here. Now we're just waiting to see if we can get a couple of these boys into the podium room. They were notified to do this at the end of the race, but we're going to keep and we're going to wait and see if we can get them in, Lemony. Do you think you could put it in chat, see if we can get these boys in?
Yeah, we'll see what the story is with them, see what the crack is, you know. But what a fantastic race, though, nonetheless. It was an absolute nail-biter towards the end. The guys got their rhythm going, a little bit of late safety car there, and it really gave us a few lap shootout. But fair play to every single one of the drivers out here this year who's represented themselves in the championship. Great stuff. And yeah, I just had an absolute blast, Pat. I'm sure you guys all did at home too. It's been an absolute pleasure.
It really has, and the thing is, they really did put on a show there on that last race. So I think our world champion will go to CPI Robbie. We'll have to wait and see, guys. If you're wanting to check out the actual final results of that Tier 1, make sure you head over to the website, guys, and I will put that in the chat for you if I can. No, I can't put it in chat for you guys. Telling me to sign in, but yeah, we're going to get any of these boys in. They're meant to be in here, and it doesn't look like they're coming in. We're going to get this, guys, to a mandatory thing where after the race you must go into the podium interview, because it is nice to hear the guys that have raced, hear their voices and stuff like that. But what we do have is Shane here, who is our director, and it looks like he has come on air to maybe have a few words. Shane, are you there?
Oh yeah, indeed, Paddy. I just wanted to drop in and just thank the two of you for an amazing commentary all season. So just wanted to say that, and the drivers on track as well. Tier 1, showing how it's done. And I think Robbie is champion. So congratulations to him as well. You know, he's had a terrific season. And yeah, we're on to pretty much now Tier 1 are all done, and then we're on to the new game. Exciting times ahead. And looking forward to seeing all the drivers return next year, and great opportunities as well for new drivers to come along and get onto our Prospect eRacing site and get registered and get yourself set up nice and early for the new game.
Yeah, indeed it is. So the website is prospectseracing.com. If you are wanting to sign up, and that's any platform, any racing, whether or not you're doing GT7, whether you're Assetto Corsa, and I believe in the future iRacing. We don't just do Formula 1, we do all sorts of racing games, all on all of the different platforms as well. Yeah, no, going back to that, thank you very much, Shane. It's been a pleasure doing this season for Tier 1, and I'm sure that Lemony will agree as well. It's really been enjoyable.
Oh yeah, I tell you now, it has to be the best Prospects eRacing League season to date. I'm looking forward to the next season myself. Yeah, Paddy, I can't wait to see how this championship and league grows. It really does grow from year to year. A lot of things in the pipeline, some fantastic stuff with the guys. Do get in touch, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great community to be part of. I've been part of it since the start. I can vouch for it personally. It's amazing. Some great bunch of lads, honest to God. So yeah, from myself, I am... Oh, here we go. Who do we have in here? We got Ethan. Well done, Ethan. Great race. Well done.
Oh, he's gone. He got a bit shy. He's gone shy. He came in, has gone shy. But this could be the last time we do comms together, Lemony. So I'm not sure if we're going to be partnered up next year. That's obviously down to Shane. I don't know what's the crack is with that. I haven't been told. But if we are not partners, I've got to say, Lemony, to do comms with you has been absolutely fantastic. Really gelled. And I hope you guys that have watched throughout the season have really enjoyed the partnership between me and Lemony. And yeah, we're not sure if we're going to be partnered next year because we may be split around on the different platforms. But it's been great, Lemony. I've really enjoyed it, and I've enjoyed the energy. You really do bring a lot of energy as well as I do, and we've gelled really well. And yeah, I thank you for that, buddy.
Yeah, nice one, Pat. Same to yourself, man. It's been an absolute pleasure all year, and the pleasure's all mine, to be honest. It's been fantastic.
Right, let's round it up then. That is the finale. It's season 7. That is up next. Keep an eye out on the website when it'll be up and running. It won't be long. When is it, Shane? Can you give a date on that?
Yeah, so just before that, I just want to say that we still have a few tiers left to go in this season. So we have Tier 2, PC and PlayStation tomorrow. We have Tier 3 then on PlayStation Wednesday. And then, then we're going to take a week or two off, let everybody, get the game, get themselves familiar with the feel of the new cars, things like that. We'll be starting our pre-season then on the 11th of July. We'll do 2 rounds. So it'll be the 11th of July and then the 18th of July will be the Tier 1 races in pre-season, and then we'll be starting on the 25th of July. So a good few weeks there for everybody to kind of get up to speed and kind of get themselves familiar with the game. Right, and I think our race winner's back.
Our race winner is back. Lemony, do you want to take this one, buddy, while he's here? No, I'll take it. URL Ethan, congratulations. Can you... No, are you there? URL Ethan. Congratulations, you're the race winner today of round 10. How do you feel, buddy? Are we going to get a response? Does he know how to use it? No, I think he's not. We're just going to round this up then, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for watching. Like Shane said, round 2 and next is tomorrow at 10 p.m. But thank you very much for watching. We have been your host, Paddy Pat and Lemony. Thank you very much. Goodbye. God bless.
Goodbye. God bless.